Good evening, good folk. How's everyone doing today? I know what you're saying. What am I doing? What am I doing? Well, we're doing an evening edition of the podcast today for our own reasons. But how we doing, good people? How we doing? Good evening, folks, and welcome to Certa Pro Painters. OKC presents Who's to Blame, the podcast, and I'm your host, Dre Montez. How's everyone doing today, this evening? Raise that roof a little bit. Do what you can. Raise that roof just a little bit. And welcome to episode 553 of Who's to Blame, the podcast, which can be found wherever you listen to your favorite podcast app. But you can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and Apple Play and Google Play, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast app. But we also add a little light by doing a video as well. For those that don't listen to the audio version, we do a video with it as well. But how are we doing, good people? High fives, chest bump. Let's have this thing out. It is what I like to call Libra Nation time. So shout out to all the Libras out there that are celebrating a birthday. Shout out to my cousin Bank. Happy birthday to you, cuzzo. And if you're celebrating an anniversary, happy anniversary to you. And if you happen to have the day off for your birthday or your anniversary, congratulations. If you have any other important milestones that you're getting through, congratulations. Keep going. We want on your side the whole way along. Shout out again to Certa Pro Painters, Oklahoma City. Let the professionals do the work, whether it's residential or commercial. There you are, good folk. But how are the rest of you doing? It has been an action-packed day the past 2 days with playoff baseball going on right now. The wild card round. Oh, my God. The wild card is giving us everything. And I don't know if you're a baseball person. I don't know if you can let bygones be bygones. Can you just let it go? Can you forgive a situation? You understand things happen. But when it comes to the Houston Astros, who's to blame? Knowing what we know from the email hacking incident that happened here with our St. Louis Cardinals, that punishment hit on the pinky. They slapped him on the pinky, right on the pinky. That's all they did, cheaters. And then what happened the year they won the World Series with the trash can, the sensors, the clicker, what was up under Altuve's shirt, but he wanted to pull off his shoe and sock 2 weeks ago to prove to us he got hit on the foot. But he didn't want to pull off that shirt during that World Series run. So allegations came out they were cheating. Then proof surfaced that they cheated. There was no punishment whatsoever. Let bygones be bygones. You can cheat the game of baseball in front of everybody. Just don't do what, kids? Cheat the game by gambling or take performance enhancement drugs. The rest you can do. I'm taking it, right, Rob Manfred? Who's to blame for that? But let's get back to the story. The Detroit Tigers, since the middle, they were out of this thing. They went on an incredible run the last month and a half of the season. An incredible run. This has the perfect beginning or the eclipse of a movie of the week, straight to Tubi, straight to Netflix. Well, hey, let's get the big people here. Let's put it up on the big screen. We love an underdog story. We love when the impossible becomes the improbable. We love that, especially in baseball. But kudos to the Detroit Tigers. And I'm telling folks this, that wild card round, those teams are coming straight off the season. All the division winners, they've been chilling. They've been chilling, partying, laying up, eating fast food, fornicating, doing things that are not considered for you to be in the playoffs. You need to stay baseball ready. These wild card teams are coming in baseball ready. And there are three teams that scare the living crap out of me coming out of this wild card round. One being the Detroit Tigers. The second one being the New York Mets. And the third is the San Diego Padres. I'm still trying to breathe life into the Baltimore Orioles. In April, I picked the Orioles and the Cardinals in the World Series. A week before the All-Star break, I fell in love with the Cleveland Guardians again, and the San Diego Padres, and Mike Shildt. So now I have the Indians and the Padres in the World Series, and the Padres winning the whole thing. Talk to me. It can be done. It can be done. But welcome to Who's to Blame, the podcast, episode 553, the crossover in sports. And what made me talk about this today is the conversation that they were having during the Detroit-Houston game. When they were talking about how gifted some baseball players were back in the day. Baseball players play basketball, they play football. Baseball players can play several sports. Guys in football, they probably do 2. Basketball, maybe 2. Golf, you stick in the golf. They have the 4 major sports. But in today's terms, I know what some of these basketball players did in high school, but they were nowhere the size that they are now. I know a lot of basketball players play quarterback and receiver in high school. I get it. But did you see the time that LeBron James went to the Nike facility in Oregon, got the tour, and he went outside on the field? He was barefoot. He had them man danglers, his feet out there on that grass because they molded his foot that day for the shoe. I know you remember that day. And they were out there playing softball. And they gave LeBron James a bat to swing. You ever seen a non-athletic person, a NARP? A non-athletic real person. I call those NARPs. You ever seen them try to play a sport? To see somebody swing a bat that looks so uncomfortable, they look like they're going to hurt themselves. They're going to have to go straight to the emergency room. As a person that played baseball, football, basketball, water polo, soccer, played field hockey one year. I was on a pool team one year. 7. We're not counting all that. Only thing I didn't play was golf. Didn't play golf. Played football at the Boys Club of St. Louis. Played basketball at the Boys Club of St. Louis. Played baseball. Played all of it. Did it all. But to imagine somebody now to play 2 sports on the pro level, no, I don't see it. Is there a golfer I would like to see go out and play basketball? Yeah. We know there are a lot of basketball players that can play golf. That's why a lot of them are not worth a crap now. They've put too much into their retirement plan, which are other sports. I think that's what pickleball is going to be for. That's going to be the retirement circuit for football and NBA players. Watch. Hear me out. We already know with baseball going, they're going straight to golf. It's the most relaxing sport from what I hear. But on the sense of the crossover in sports, I think, real talk, who's to blame on this one? Why are baseball players more athletic than any other sport? Think about it. I'm not debating who's the most athletic person in the NBA. Whoever that is, I bet they can't play football, baseball, just the skill set. Can they hit a pitch? Can they go on the field and field the ball? Can they hit the cutoff? Can they throw the ball to second? That's what I'm talking about. Football. Can they get out there and take a hit? Can they deliver a hit? They want a quarterback. Let me see your skill set. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying pickup games, at the work site, at the family reunion, a corporate get-together. I'm talking actually, who do you think right now in the league or you would like to see do crossover, be a 2-sport athlete? I mean, it was fun when Brian Jordan did it. Prime Time did it. Bo Jackson did it. I mean, that was fun to watch that. And you can see the true athleticism in these guys when they were playing. And they were not just out here just taking up space on the roster. They were out here balling out on both sides of baseball and football. But I would like to see, hold on now, I think due to the schedule, you could probably do All three. You could do baseball, football, and basketball. Hell, basketball starts in 2.5, almost 3 weeks from now, in 20 days, October 22nd. Message right there. That's what's coming in. You can pull that off. But in all realization, there's no way an owner, a GM, player of operations, a manager, a coach is going to allow a player, especially if they're a top tier athlete for their team or franchise, they're not going to let that happen. There's so many things in folks' contracts now, what you can and can't do due to what athletes did back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and 2000s in their free time, their downtime, doing extracurricular activities that they shouldn't be doing because it can mess up the main money. You never want to mess up your main money. You know, speed skating with your kid, snowboarding with your wife and kids, helping your son become a boxing pro, getting in the ring. No, you can't. Once you sign that deal in your particular sport in today's world, that's pretty much your job. That is your job. I think that's why we're so hard on the athletes, that we think not performing up to their ability and to their full strength and capability of whatever sport it may be. But we see what else they're doing. And we're questioning, if they're giving you $40 million a year, why are you at the club? Shouldn't you learn this sport to the best of your ability from the manual side of this, the ins and outs, everything possible about this position that you play in this sport you play? They're giving you that money because that's your job. And some of these players don't realize until it gets to that contractual moment. Now they can hear the boos. Now they're wondering what happened. You didn't take this seriously as your job. That's why a majority of the documentaries I watch when it comes to former athletes, former coaches that made a print in a sport by winning a championship, becoming a household name, when they're having these conversations with these young athletes, and they're trying to get it through their skin and through their head, and the understanding when you become a professional athlete, do you understand what that means? Are you in this? Or are you in it for the money? If you're in it for the money, let us know. There are a lot of people that play sports on teams. We never seen them play. We don't even know their name, but they're wearing a uniform. And when that team wins a championship, guess what? They get a ring or a trophy too, because they're part of the team. They didn't play at all, but they own the team. If you want to be one of those people, let people know up front. Hey, you know, I don't want all that attention. But who's to blame? I'm loving this of the crossover in sports, but it was fun watching Brian Jordan, Deion Sanders, and Bo Jackson. There were a few others that tried it out there, but it's hard. It's complicated. You have to know your body. I tell people this all the time. When you're trying to take these diets and lose this crazy amount of weight in a short amount of time, do you know your body? Do you know what your body can take, what it can't take? How long does it take your body to heal? Not somebody else's, your body. And there are probably a good 25 athletes that really take the science of their body to the next level. We've heard stories all the time on how much money they spend on taking care of their body, not their family, their body. Because if that body is not right, the family going to be struggling. Who's to blame? Moving right along. And oh boy, it happened. Oh, the Royals then swept the O's. Living in St. Louis, I don't like it. I'm not a Royals fan. I'm a Cardinal fan. And now you're going to get these Cardinal fans that are going to say, well, I'm rooting for the Royals now. Well, move to Kansas City. Move to Kansas City. I'm sticking with my Redbirds. We're about to go through some miserable shit the next 2 to 3 years. Just horrible. They're already talking about the viewership for next year. The company the Cardinals are a part of, the broadcast games on Bally Network, Bally Sports, already talking about 11 teams. They're going to pull their games. And the Cardinals' name is one of them. How? How do we get here? How? I mean, you just change the channel in your local market and watch the ball game anytime it came on. It is so complicated now. Do you get charter? Do you get sling? Do you go bootleg? Do you go Fire Stick? What do you go AT&T? Do you go DirecTV? I mean, what do you use your phone? I'm at a loss right now. When I saw that this afternoon about the viewership, how they're deciding which 11 teams are not going to show, what gives you the right? What gives you the right? Who's to blame? Moving right along. Football season is one of the best times to debate to me. We have the weekend, Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. That's it. Saturday for college, Sunday for NFL, Monday NFL, Thursday NFL and college, and Friday college. Those are the days we have. So when we go through the mundane of the week to get to the weekend, let's just use this week, for example. We had a crazy week in football going from Friday, that Vatech Miami game. Crazy. Saturday is college football day. Yeah, that's all college football. Bama and Georgia, need I say more? Colorado, need I say more? The way Saturday ended, if you overslept, you didn't have time to really talk about what happened Friday, Saturday. Sunday come the NFL. It was some doozies. It's been the most entertaining 4 weeks of the NFL season right now. Then you got Monday Night Football, doubleheaders. You can't talk about football Monday because you got to really compartmentalize what took place in NFL Monday. Tuesday, you can breathe a little easy because now you're catching up on what happened Sunday. A little bit of college football in there. Okay, the rankings done come out. Oh, okay. Now here come Wednesday. Wednesday, now you got the coaches and the players who are so quick to talk to the media after the games that the wrong thing comes out because they've been playing the game or been on the sideline. They haven't seen the game the way we've seen the game. So they come out on Sunday and just get to spouting out the craziest shit ever. Monday after the game, the craziest shit ever. They don't have time to realize what they said until Wednesday when they had a press conference. I think Wednesday is the best day to debate sports. You can get over what happened over the weekend. You can get over what happened Sunday in football. Monday Night Football, whether you won your money, your fantasy football league. By the way, I lost mine by 2 points. 100 to 102. It's okay. It's my first loss of the year. First loss of the year. I'm okay. I'm not hitting the panic button. But Wednesday, you can get it all off your chest. You can let your college football thumbs up, thumbs down, head scratcher off the chest. You can get all your NFL information on Wednesdays. Like right now, what's going on with Devontae Adams. You got the Chiefs, you got the Jets, you got the Saints, you got the Patriots, you got the Bills. All five of those right there need what? Say it with me, kids. A wide receiver. But why is it every year we go through a receiver that's having issues with the team, issues with the coach, issues with the play call, issues with their contract? Is it me, or they don't pay attention to anything until July, August? Well, I didn't see that in my I didn't know that was in my contract. Even if you're not reading your contract, have someone break it down to you as you're pretending to understand the language in there. Have you ever seen an NFL contract? Any sports contract? It's a lot of verbiage. You need representation there to break it down to you for you in the purest form. But every year we go through a high-profile position player, and we want to know what's wrong with him. Why he not in the game? Why he slouch back like that? Who's to blame for this? If you did not watch the Raiders press conference today, Antonio Pierce today did his best impression of Doughboy O'Shea Jackson from Boys in the Hood in that press conference. The growl on his face. He hated answering those questions. You can tell that there's something going on in the building. You ever come home and you just know your parents got into it, but I'm not saying furniture been moved or anything like that, but you can just tell something not right in the house. Mom and dad got into it while I was at school or at work. You just can tell. Or if you got a teenage daughter and you at work and you come home and you can tell your daughter and your woman got into it. You can just tell by the body language. When you watch Antonio Pierce interview recap today, something's going on. Something's going on. Something's going on with Odell Beckham Jr. Something's sitting off, but it's all around this one position all of a sudden. All of a sudden. What position is that, guys? Say it with me. Wide receiver. The wide receiver position. Again, it's like every year, it's one or the other, a receiver or a quarterback. Running backs have figured out, 4 years ago, they're not important anymore. Once you get that bag, the rest is up to you as a running back. Once you get that bag at the running back position, it's done. It's a wrap. But back to what my original segment was on this. I think Wednesdays are the best day of the week to debate sports. You're in the middle. It's hump day. What day is it? Hump day. Let me see your shoulder shake. Zoom, 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 zoom. And it's the people you debate sports with. Think about what they said last Wednesday leading into Thursday night football. If they follow college, what they said about Friday's game, Saturday's games, Sunday's games, the Monday game. You got to let them breathe a little bit at work, collect that money. Wednesday, let's start all over again. Let's start all over again right here. From the get-go, from the gist of it, let's go. Let me in on it, homie. Because everybody is a genius and knows what they're talking about until the game is what? Played. Until the game is played. And all the experts, that's why I love that they share their picks and their knowledge. I'm talking about the people that get paid hundreds of thousands up to millions of dollars to talk and debate college and professional sports. And as many shows as I watch and listen to and follow, I love saying, you know what? Everybody is just doing the best they can with the information that's provided, and they're giving feedback and rebuttal based on what they know about the player, coach, and or team. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Sometimes it come out as entertaining. Sometimes it come out as, what in the hell are you talking about over here? And then other times they like hit it right on. You're like, hey, that right there is how it should be done. That's how you talk about things right there for sure. But that right there is, I think that's why I love the world of sports. It can take us to a place we need to get away from. It's just like music. It's just like our favorite movie. We can get lost in a moment to forget about whatever's going on that's out of control, something we cannot control. But it puts us in a bad feeling, a wrong space in our mind. Makes everything taste weird, everything sound weird. But when you get to that happy spot in your music, that favorite movie, that favorite scene of a television show you like, or the world of sports, it just makes everything seem like on the outside, it doesn't, what, kids, matter. But who's to blame, most importantly? Again, it's your boy, Dre Montez, and thank you for tuning in and listening to another exciting episode of Certa Pro Painters, Oklahoma City presents Who's to Blame, the podcast. Boys and girls and children of all ages, thank you so much for listening, and we'll listen to you and talk to you next Wednesday. Peace. But I'm telling you right now, it is the most fun thing to do in the world of sports. It's just something else. Had to stop the audio recording right there. So we're back now with the people, by the people, and for the people. But wow, wow, wow. Well, You can't have your cake and eat it too, Dre. You know, we tried. In April, I picked the Cardinals and the Baltimore Orioles in the World Series. About a week before the All-Star break, I picked the Cleveland Guardians and the San Diego Padres in the World Series. I just think after last year, you had 3 100-win teams win one game in a divisional, and they all got swept. That's too much time. That's too much time off. These teams coming at wild card, they coming here on fire. On fire. It's just like football. You get one of them wild card teams that's on a fire, you're gonna catch that fire. And right now, the way Detroit is playing in Kansas City, what do you need to win in baseball, kids, in playoff season? Pitching. What kind of pitching? Young pitching. You need them youngsters that can make that ball move and dance in a way you have never seen before. I don't know why they keep teasing us with this camera that they use only during the playoffs. If they use that camera in regular season, we wouldn't yell at the umpires so much. We wouldn't be so mad at them. But these youngsters got this ball moving for sure. Well, I have a football show to do tonight with my buddy Josh. He does a hockey show as well as football picks as well. And I joined his show with another guy. I can't remember the other guy's name. I just know he's a teacher in Canada. So I think I'm joining those guys at about 7:30 this evening. I will be sharing it on the platforms of Facebook, of course, across the board. But thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Certa Pro Painters Presents Who's to Blame, the podcast, episode 553. We talked about today the crossover in sports. You got to listen to it, know what I'm talking about. And I also talked about what is the best day of the week to you to debate sports, to listen to a debate, engage in one, or you with the crew at the barbershop, your backyard, with your kids on the phone on FaceTime, the water cooler. What's your favorite day of the week to debate? Well, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. But tomorrow, you can catch us at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time for another episode of Montez at Midday. Until next time, kids, I'll holler at you again. Shout out to our title sponsor, Certa Pro Painters, Oklahoma City. Let the professionals do the work, whether residential or commercial. Until next time, kids, peace, and we'll talk to you later. And we out.